first one in there.
Oh, right. So I think we may be tomorrow.
I wouldn't question him about being up early for a breakfast. I'm always up. I start work.
Bloody great.
I start work at 4. Can't sleep. It's amazing. I just go to sleep at 10. I wake up at 3, half 3. No alarm needed.
When I worked nights, I was like that. I was just used to it. I needed to sleep, or was that about one? I struggle again.
Even when we was in Killarney, that European team, and I was up at like 3 in the morning. She was outside having a fag at 3 or 4 in the morning. She was getting in, and I was just like, so what's this, a group? Good morning, everybody. You rejoin us. This is round 1 of the ladies' event. Which is the Ladies Champions League, and this is Group 2. In this group, Emma Cunningham, Lauren Williams, Leanne Cragg, and Lauren Whittemore, and this match between Lauren Williams and Leanne Cragg. They play a round robin. It's a race to 5. Plenty of pool today for the ladies, and good to see good interest. 8 groups, 32 ladies. Some of the best around. Amy Beecham is playing in one of the other groups. Of course, Amy, I think I'm right in saying the current ladies world champion. Could be wrong there. Certainly won it in recent years. I can't really keep up with it throughout COVID. In Group 3 is Catherine Jones, Sophie Gibbs-Nichols, Megan Proctor, and Dawn Keeling. Group 4, Sharon Lunn, Dawn Zimbalati, Ashley Dinsmore and Sharon James. Group 5 is Bex McCool, Mary Cunningham, Rachel Davis and Lindsay Roberts. And Group 6, Maria Lewis, Michelle Brown, Sue Fletcher and Jeanette Baptist. This game between Lauren Williams and Leanne Cragg. Leanne Cragg from the Stoke-on-Trent area. Lauren's from kind of Milton Keynes way. I don't think it's exactly Milton Keynes, but that area, I believe. Nice delicate shot, just threaded the ball into that gap to leave yellow to centre. I think probably an angle just to punch through and promote that yellow. I was going to say maybe just promote it up table, but I think the plan here is to pot it off the red. It's always a little bit tricky. It's not. It is a big pocket, but at the same time, you still have to be absolutely spot on. You have to find. It's easy just to hit into the red and the yellow to stay up. You still have to find the exact sweet spot. Yeah, there you go. And that was the issue. It's so easy just to go into the red and leave the yellow where the red was. I'm going to assume that wasn't a foul, that there was a gap on the red to the cushion, because obviously nothing else hit a rail, so if the red was touching the cushion, then that would have been deemed a foul. I did see Lauren kind of hold her fingers up, and I don't know if she was indicating it was a foul or not. Whether it was or not is irrelevant. Leanne didn't need it. Even if she had it, she cleared the table and she takes a 1-0 lead. Apologies, everyone. Just got sidetracked there for a second. Just had someone come and visit us. But we're back focused on this game. So as mentioned, Lauren Williams against Leanne Cragg. Leanne's taking the first frame. Lauren is from the break. Both impressive so far. You'd expect some early nerves. First round of an event. First round of any event for 18 months. And thrown onto the arena table in front of the cameras can be somewhat intimidating. I know both will have played on stream, and indeed I think Lauren has played on Free Sports before, and in fact I think Leanne may have as well. So it won't be absolutely new to them, but even so, it can be a little intimidating sometimes, but these two seem to have hit their stride. And this is an impressive clearance. Just needs to negotiate this not exactly straightforward black. It's one you'd expect her to get. Certainly given the clearance she's made so far. Very nice. You could just that shot across the table. We were playing that yesterday when we were leveling the table, and it just pulls. You could see that ball just pulling towards the bottom pocket, because playing it across that way is against the nap. So the ball's rolling against the felt, as it were, against the nap. And as always, it just pulls it in towards the near knuckle, and you could just see that one pulling. But it just had the pace, and just played it at the right pace just to drop it in. Really nice break and dish. Impressive stuff from Lauren, and that's one frame apiece. So good morning everyone, and welcome to Blackpool. Welcome to the Grand Hotel. Nice opener. The single ball potting so far has been exemplary in this match. Bit of an issue with the red furthest right. Clearly doesn't pass into either of the bottom corner pockets. It goes to left middle, but it's how you land on it. And that one's been overhit as well. Needs it to pull up, and it has. But that doesn't afford any positional options to that last red. I mean, the only thing you can really think she could do here is play the red off the yellow. It's just below that other red, which then opens the path to it, and it also holds the cue ball. That was a good effort. She had the angle to go across and push black onto it. It was a good effort, but ultimately there's no reward. Leanne just essentially laying the challenge to Lauren and saying, have a go. There's Lauren's partner watching on, the Welsh international Zach Shepherd. Sorry, Leanne's partner. Leanne, Lauren. They do these things to confuse me, and it's still early on a Saturday morning after a late night last night. I'm sure Lauren would be horrified at that suggestion. I pulled Zach's leg, but he's good for it. Zach, of course, has taken on the chairmanship of the WEPF, which is the World 8-Ball Pool Federation. So he recently, I say recently, it was within the last sort of 18 months, became chairman. So quite an influence in the game now. And that is a little bit disastrous for Lauren. She's missed the pot, but also I think she's set up Leanne. Well, I think she's tried to leave a double here, but that is not the angle for a double. She's not going to be getting that double from there. It's got double kiss written all over it. So she's going to have to, if she wants to, she's going to have to double it long into the... Again, just essentially thrown the gauntlet down and said to her opponent, I don't fancy you to get these. There was a heated debate ongoing next door between Jez Graham and Oli Bell when there were 6 frames apiece. I'm not sure what it was over. It was a disagreement over a shot that Jez had played. But ultimately, well, Oli did well to come back, so I think it was 6-3 down at one point, and he brought it back to Hill. And ultimately, Jez has prevailed, so he wins the Battle of the West Countrymen. And he is through into the last 16. Lee Washbrook having been, I think he was 6-4 up on Chris Day. He's ended up losing that one 7-6, so Chris is through to the last 16. We marked him yesterday as a danger. Lauren deciding to try and lay the trap. It's a fairly easy one cushion escape. Yeah, it was a good escape, but it's not done Leanne any favours whatsoever. It's just tied the black up again. She's going to be in trouble again because it gives Lauren an easy opportunity just to split these two balls up and leave another snooker. She's not left a gap through to it. I mean, even if not, it's still a one cushion escape and a decent chance of potting that black in the middle, you know. This is one you would expect her to go close. Now they really are open, but again, not a particularly easy opener. Has a ball to left middle, very makeable, but it is tricky. Yeah, that was always a danger. Just pushing it to the near knuckle. As I say, not as easy as it looked. Just rubbing her face and trying to wake herself up. Annoyed with herself in the background. You can see her shaking her head. And now she's 2-1 behind. And she'll feel that she has had decent chances in all 3 frames so far. And will be disappointed to be trailing. You could see that from the expression on her face. So it's not happening so far for Lauren. This frame was always going to be a little bit tricky with the way the ball's laid out. That convergence of balls around the black spot. Leanne playing the deliberate foul to clear the pocket. Again, appears to have time on his side. You could definitely make a case for playing the same shot back, and that's what Lauren's going to do. None of the yellows are particularly nice, but I think now is the time to use that extra shot to try and break them open. Use this one as kind of a free shot just to split everything apart. Yeah, I'm not convinced. I mean, it's a good pot, but I'm not convinced it's the right shot. I think better value in just trying to split the pack up, and if you open them up, then you can just go for the clearance as it stands. You're still going to waste one of your shots now trying to get them open, and you can't get them all open with this shot now. Just across on table 2 is John McAllister's currently playing. I'm not sure whether that's his opening game in the Open. I guess it must be, because all of the games from the round of 32 have finished and the last 16's decided. In fact, we could quickly run through that last 16, which I'll do in just a moment. So in that last 16 of the main event is Neil Toms versus Brett Wild, Sean Chipperfield versus Adam Davis, Ben Clark versus Sean Story, Stevie Dempsey against Tom Cousins, Declan Brennan against Neil Rayburn. What a great draw that is. I think that's going to probably be your 5 o'clock streamed game, you would imagine. Jake Dillon Newlove against Lackbadam. Gaz Hibbert against Andy Barker, and Jez Graham against Chris Day. A KG frame this one, and of course a big frame in the game as well. Lauren needs it to go 2 apiece. Leanne just needs to navigate these last 2 balls. Fairly natural angle to swing around for the black in the same pocket, which she does well. Just a tiny bit short of pace, meaning she's going to have to cut it back. Another roll, and this would have been a formality. In fact, she had to go for the double, and she misjudged it by a bit of a margin. So Didn't quite get the right view on that one. I thought that she could cut it, but obviously not. Nice opening shot. Played confidently. That is not great. Just too near the cushion and just a little bit straight. Any kind of big angle and she could have anywhere high, anywhere low, just not near that cushion, and she could have swung the cue ball around for the, well, again, a formality just to drop the red in the middle and leave a straight black. But now she's going to have to punch this in, send the cue ball probably off of two cushions. Hampered cueing. She's digging down into the ball now to try and... Yeah, that was always going to make the shot difficult. I think, for me, better to play it with top and just run the cue ball around two cushions. I think digging down into the cue ball makes the pot so much more difficult there. But Leanne, she can't take advantage of the mistake. Gives Lauren another chance. Again, still not ideal. Should be fine. She can drop this in, but she's going to be left with that long red to bottom, and it is just tied up to that side cushion. It's just one that she's just going to have to try and drop in. And again, for me, you just need to time this. You just need to stroke it in. These are missable. They look easy, but they're missable when they're on the side rail like they are. Don't punch it, because you can miss them when you punch them. That's it. Just stroke it in. Perfect. And leave the longer black. Well, that was a bit of a battle of wills. But it's 2 frames each. So a few times they've missed that same shot. Just catching the near jaw first. Yeah, and walking back to her chair looking for a bit of sympathy off of Zach, and he's engrossed in his phone. He'll be getting a cussing afterwards, look. He's supposed to be whispering sweet nothings in her ear and telling her how well she's playing, and he's sat playing Snake on his phone. He's on Candy Crush. Oh, that's a poor miss. That's just a... she's inspecting the tip of her cue like she had a poor contact, but yeah, maybe doing her a disservice there. Maybe she had a little bit of a poor contact or a slight miscue perhaps. Often those shots are missed because you kind of take them for granted and just lose concentration a little bit and maybe focus a little bit too much on the positional side. Can open up the frame here. Try to pop the red off the yellow. Open up the pocket for the other red down the rail. Miss the yellow. So now has a problem with the red on the side rail. I'm going to play it as a double. Wants to play it pocket weight. It's okay. Just wanted to get some traffic in front of the yellow just to establish an advantage. We've seen more DFs in this contest than we did in the whole of yesterday. So far, the women using the rules to their advantage. That's good. Looks like she's left a nice angle to come up. Needs to kind of catch the yellow half ball. She doesn't want to catch it full ball because she could get stuck down this end of the table. She wants to catch it half ball, push the red up table. Could even catch like kind of halfway between yellow and red. Yeah, not sure that was the shot. She cued it to try and take the red out, but there was only a kind of quarter ball to go for, and she was only ever just going to flick it out, and she had to hit it, catch it hard enough to get it off the cushion and then get it past the yellow. But if you caught between yellow and red, you were going to bring them both out. If you kind of caught the yellow half ball, you're going to push the red up table and still bring the cue ball up table as well. I think it was one of those you kind of needed to catch them both. Nice angle here off the yellow to disrupt this problem on the right side rail. Got a couple of options here. You can just run into the red and promote the yellow towards the pocket, or even better than that, if you go cushion first and just nudge into the back, just like so, just nudge into the back of the red and leave the yellow down the rail. Executed perfectly. Leanne's been impressive so far in this one. Probably a few more mistakes from Lauren, but she finds herself at 2-all. second prize. Gets it there and thereabouts. Puts it in front of the two reds. I think Lauren has to play the red that's over the middle up into that right corner, play it off of the yellow to clear the yellow out of the way. I think that's a shot here. If you miss it, I mean, you can bring the cue ball back down table, back down this end of the table, so you've got the red, and if you miss it, then Leanne shouldn't have a shot. I think that's the one to play. Play that red. If you hit the cushion just above the bulk line, so play the red off the yellow, move the yellow to one side, open the pocket, frame at your mercy. Doesn't see it the same way. Maybe going to play this double. Personally prefer using the red. I think it's easier to judge. Yeah. I think just, I don't know. I think it would have just been easier to judge, and I think there's a lot less risk in using the red that she just put it into the middle rather than using that other red as the double. I think the double was much more difficult to judge the line. But as I said before, we all see things differently, and that's a very nice black. A few lessons from Zach back there, a little bit of coaching going on, a bit of mentoring. George has been on a mercy dash. He's the coffee angel. So again, as has happened a few times during this match, is clusters. There's a cluster again around the black, as there seems to have been a few times. If this goes, it could open up everything. Went for the double. Didn't know if she had the angle to punch through the black and just open up the other yellow as well, but clearly not. Playing a nice safety. She's blocked the path through. I'm not sure if it's a total or whether Lauren can just see the... Yeah, maybe get through. I think she can still get through. I think for her, she can't attack from here clearly, but I think she just needs to open her balls and say, just kind of set the challenge to Leanne and say, you have a go at them. If you don't get them, I'm going to. Because even that one, it's just a bit of a... she's given away the foul, given the 2 visits, but even if she got out of the snooker, it wasn't doing much. It was probably just going to push one of those yellows a little safer. I think it was time to take the ball by the horn and just say, go on, I'm just going to open them up and lay the challenge down to you. Because as it happens, it's probably just pass the frame across to Leanne anyway. Of course, the only issue here is the red in the cluster, but she's got 2 visits now. And now, having missed that one, it's going to be a very tough clearance. She's still got that ball tied up. Could play this to leave an angle to screw across into it, but it's kind of, yeah, a bit too close to the cushion now. It's always sort of playing herself into a bit of a hole. Needed to address that issue earlier on in the frame. And it's hard to see where this is going now. It's almost kind of like burying your head in the sand, as if to say, well, I know I've got a problem, but it is what it is. And she fouls. So it's 2 visits to Lauren. course, has the second visit, so just set it up, leave the black in the opposite centre. Safe in the knowledge that even if she did miss it, then the red's not on. So there is no real pressure on it. Oh, goodness me, I wondered if that was going to reach for a second. I think she thought the same thing. That would have been a disaster. A smile on Leanne's face, I saw. Anyway, levels things up at 3 frames each. Just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be back with you in a few minutes. Just got back in time to see that long red up into the top corner. Great shot. Needs to finish it off though, because these yellows are dangerous, and that's another great pot. And suddenly, Lauren finds a game. She's just been struggling a little bit, and this came good there. Super stuff, and she's now 4-3 ahead on the hill with her break in the 8th frame. Just trying to keep half an eye on everything else that's ongoing at the moment. Of course, the ladies' 8 groups currently underway. Also, the Jason Owen Open. Jason, of course, sponsoring the what would have been the Challenge Tour. I think it is now called the Open event. It's the Jason Owen Open. Just trying to find that one on Q Score, which I have. Yeah, it's the World Rules Pool Tour Jason Owen Open, if you're looking for it. John McAllister was playing over here on table 2. He beat Callum Kendall 4-0. Arfin Dad beat Andrew Jones 4-0. Chris Day beat Adam Basu 4-0. Ryan Bodsworth beat Dan Eaton-Lees 4-2. So those are the first 4 games. I just, funny enough, bumped into Declan Brennan when I went down to the bathroom. He was in there washing his hands, and he's just about to start against Jake Dillon Newlove. In fact, all of those games, the 20 tables are back in action for that challenge event. They're all race to 4s. So they play through today. Let's have a look. They play until 5 o'clock today. And then, in fact, there's obviously going to be clashes with the main tour, which starts back at 5:45, but the Challenge Tour goes on through the day, right until the last game's at 9:30 tonight, and then they start again at 10:15 tomorrow morning. So, just looking down through now, we've got action through the final of the Challenge Tour is at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm not sure if that's the end or whether they then show the ladies after or the ladies has played before. Without finding that schedule as well, then I don't know. But yeah, pool all the way through today until probably 11 o'clock tonight. So it's going to be a long day for us, starting at 9 o'clock this morning. We're going to be going all the way through the day and then up again tomorrow morning to see the challenge through to the final, and also the ladies, and I think probably the seniors played through. So much pool going on this weekend, it's incredible. And this is a great reply from Leanne to take this to Hill. Oh, she's missed it. She's missed it. Given Lauren a chance, not the easiest of chances. She seemed to rush that black a little. Getting a bit of a consolation there from Zach. That one used the whole pocket. As it happens, she's left an angle where she could go into the red on the side red if she wants to. She can stun up into that If she does so, she doesn't need to do a lot, just pretty much just nudge into it and promote it 6 inches or so up the table, and she should be left on the red down table. She's looking at this one over by the black though. I'm not sure that's the next shot. She wants to play it. I think she's playing it off the black, but I think the black's too far away. I think there's better times to play this, personally. It will go off the black, actually, looking at that angle, but I don't know if it's the right shot to play now. Did she hit a Did she hit a cushion? Yeah, the white hit the cushion, didn't it? Yeah, yeah. So I was just trying to remember back whether the white did or not. Everyone at home shouting at me, yeah, obviously it hit a cushion. Yeah, I don't know. It's easy to question, it's easy to criticise, but I'm just not sure if that was the ball right then. I think I preferred the cutback. It was a difficult shot anyway to play it off the black, and it was slightly hamper cueing. So next up is going to be one of the games from the challenge, and it's going to be bit of a disaster for Leanne finding the pocket, but it's not the worst of results. It's a little bit congested. It's not a great table. I think if Lauren sees it, just play the yellow to the middle bag off the red, which opens up that pocket, and it really does just open up the whole game. I think she has seen it. She's has to play it off the red though. Yeah, sorry. Next up is a game from the Challenge Tour. It's going to be Steve Petty against Wade Morley, and Wade very unlucky not to knock out Tom Cousins and get through to the last 16. So he's definitely an informed player, and he's going to be playing against Steve Petty. So looking forward to that. And for those of you who remember the Steve Petty of old, you'll have a bit of a shock if you've not seen him in the last couple of years, because Steve used to be a big lad. I say used to be. I'll leave it until the Challenge Tour to see what he looks like now. All I'll say is that when I saw him, first of all, after he'd dropped some weight, then I didn't recognise him. It wasn't until he started talking to me that I was like, oh, I mean, that's Steve. Decent chances now for Lauren. I think she's screwing this out, but yeah, I prefer topping that through, you know. If she tops that through, she's got the yellow just above the black into the left centre. And well, actually, I didn't think it passed into this bottom, but looking at that camera angle, it does. So she's absolutely fine. There you go, that's what happens. You think you know it all from the commentary box, but the players have just got a better angle than you. He's not hampered by the black. So you can just drop it in and run the cue ball through, which he does. So there's simple black now to see Lauren Williams through this opening game. That's great, really good. I enjoyed that game. So it's Lauren that prevails over Leanne. Good stuff. It's as I say, it's a round robin event, so Leanne is not out. She should live to fight another day. As mentioned previously, the next game on stream, I think, will probably be due on as soon as we kind of reset and get to go again, which will likely take us 15 minutes or so. But just keep an eye out for the notifications. If you've clicked on the notification bell on Facebook, then on YouTube, and followed us, then on Facebook you'll see the notifications come through when we go live. And we'll be live with Steve Petty versus Wade Morley. Don't miss that one. That's going to be a great game. And it's going to be quick as well as a race to 4. So that's a challenge match, a challenge tour match. And what am I saying? It's a part of the open event. Getting tongue twisted. Anyway, we'll be back in 10 or 15 minutes. See you soon.